Pharmaceutical company Prevacus says their new concussion medication Prevacol helps repair nerves and promote cell growth.
We can get the drug in the brain in less.
Pharmaceutical company Prevacus says their new concussion medication Prevacol helps repair nerves and promote cell growth.
We can get the drug in the brain in less than 5 minutes. And our plan is, when we get that diagnosis on the field of play, give the drug nasally, get it in the brain quickly. When it gets in the brain, it actually gets into the nucleus of your brain cells, and it reduces swelling, inflammation, and oxidative stress at the same time.
When Jake and I first talked about this many years ago, one of my first questions was, will this help me? And he goes, no, this is for treatment immediately when a concussion, or you think a concussion has occurred.
Yeah. The acute problems that exist later on in life, if we can take care of these at an early age and start getting some of these things to our children and grandchildren, and I think we can make this game, our game, football, a safer place.
And so the whole goal is we're trying to make the game safer. And so Odyssey and this drug, we believe, can be a game changer in so many different ways. Yes, on the football field, in the game of football, because that's where my passion lies, but also in the game of life.
Boom, we're live. MMA Complete, episode 47, getting ever so closer to having a full year in the books. It is May 27th today. We are 2 weeks off from the UFC 262, and we are 2 weeks away from UFC 263.
Yeah.
No fight night this weekend, though.
Week off.
We got Jairzinho Rozenstruik versus Augusto Sakai next week, so I'm not really too worried about that. Today we're kind of switch up the flow of the podcast a little bit. We're just going to actually talk about UFC like an actual podcast, not like an actual show. So big shout out to Prevacol and Odyssey Group International, our sponsor for the second week running.
Yeah.
And we will be showing you that clip a couple more times to promote Prevacol. You're watching MMA Complete, brought to you by FanDuel Sports and Naked Sports. Check us out every Thursday night at 8 p.m. And check us out for UFC 263 and every other pay-per-view when we go live from like 6 p.m. to 1 a.m., something like that.
Yeah. So Volkanovski, that's his name, right?
Volkanovski. I would love to talk about
show with
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan. Now he's fighting Ortega.
Yes, the date hasn't been confirmed yet because they're going to be the hosts. They're going to be the team leaders of the
Contender Series.
No, the Ultimate Fighter.
Oh yeah, Ultimate Fighter. Yeah,
right.
My bad.
They're bringing it back. I think it's the first one in a while.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about it. I think it should be good.
Yeah.
It's between featherweights and middleweights.
Yeah.
It's going to be
on ESPN Plus, I'm guessing.
I think it's going to be it. It was on TNT for the longest time, so I would assume that it's just going to be on ESPN free cable because it's like a.
Should we sit this way?
I don't think it matters. What? What do you mean?
Should we sit like this way? Like this one?
Well, yeah, we kind of are. Well, like the Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to do that?
No, we already started. I mean,
no?
We're
Let's
good.
try it.
The camera's not going to be able to
Push
catch it all.
back?
No, we already started, guys. We
I
can do it
care.
next week.
This is it. We got to try it.
We do it next week. We already set it up.
Yeah, whatever. I think who do you think's gonna win that fight? I mean,
I got
Ortega?
Volkanovski the whole time.
Ortega?
You like Ortega, but I've had Volkanovski this whole time because this fight was supposed to happen at UFC 260 or 259. One of them was supposed to already happen.
Yeah.
And it was 261 actually. It was 261 because it was supposed to be under Kamaru Usman. No, it wasn't. It was 260. It was 260.
It wasn't on the same card as Adesanya.
Was Adesanya? No, Adesanya was 259 with Blachowicz.
Okay.
Who was 260? 261 was Usman Masvidal. 262 was Oliveira Chandler. 260 wasn't. Was it Ngannou?
Maybe, yeah. Yeah.
That's gonna piss me off now. I might be wrong. It might be Adesanya Blachowicz. It was Ngannou and Miocic. Yeah, that's right, because that co-main event was supposed to be Volkanovski Ortega.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure now that I'm looking at UFC 260, I might be wrong, but I thought I saw that Sean O'Malley is scheduled for a fight coming up.
I did see something about that too.
Sean O'Malley's just calling out everybody, so nothing scheduled so far. So you got Ortega in that Volkanovski fight?
I think well, it's tough to say. It's his second fight back, fighting the champion, 2 years off. He did look really good in his last fight.
Mm-hmm. But that was against Chan Sung Jung, and no offense to the Korean Zombie, he's a great fighter, but he has lost a step. We're talking about Brian Ortega, who has arguably the second worst loss in history to Max Holloway.
Yeah.
Max Holloway.
Yeah, maybe.
Max Holloway has the record for...
Okay, Volkanovski.
Yeah.
It's a safer bet.
Max Holloway landed something like 300 strikes on Ortega when they first fought. But it was a decision. He didn't stop him, so Ortega has a chin. Volkanovski is another beast, though. He's so great standing. His head movement and movement in general is great, and he has some power. I like Ortega, and I think his wrestling's great. It's really good. So he has a chance. I think he has... I was going to say, I think he has a better chance against Volkanovski than Volkanovski has on Holloway.
You don't know about Holloway or Volkanovski?
I think Holloway beats Volkanovski like 80 times out of 100, 8 times out of 10.
Yeah.
I think the first fight, Holloway wasn't expecting Volkanovski to be so sharp, and that's why Volkanovski won. Because when I scored it, Volkanovski won the first fight. The second fight, Holloway won, but they gave it to Volkanovski. Holloway's reach is just so hard to manage. When you're fighting at 145 and you got a guy that's 5'11", you know, the champ, Volkanovski's like 5'7". That's tough. That's really tough. The leg kicks from Holloway.
Yeah, true. 5'11", yeah.
Like, his legs are probably like 4 inches longer than everybody else. He's standing 4 inches away from where you would meet up, and he's just kicking you and kicking your body and pushing you away. He dropped Volkanovski twice with a kick to the head in the second fight. Max Holloway's also fighting, I want to say it's Yair Rodriguez. Yair Rodriguez, yeah. He's going to be fighting Yair Rodriguez July 17th, main event of the UFC Fight Night. That just got announced 2 days ago, so that's really cool to see. Holloway's going to fuck him up. Fuck him up.
Yeah, I like Holloway.
It's a good... I wonder when the Volkanovski-Ortega fight is going to happen. Because I don't see Holloway taking too many more fights. I mean, if he hasn't proved that he's worth another shot against Volkanovski, then they're just never going to give it to him, right?
I don't think so. Depends who. Dana White's got a mind of his own.
What are you looking up?
Jack Harlow was on Hot Ones. Did you know that show on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kobe Belanger. Maybe I shouldn't have said his full name. The guy that is here with us on live streams. He is going to the Bruins.
Oh, are they going to the Bruins?
Let's go. Thanks for the invite. If you're watching, buddy.
Are they going?
Yeah.
He had said that him and Mike were looking for tickets for a while.
No, it's Saturday night, full house.
Yeah.
Bro. I'm going to have to call Pops. I'm going to text him right now.
But anyway, so I also want to talk, because we haven't talked about the heavyweight division in a couple weeks. I want to talk about what's going on with Francis Ngannou and his title. Because over the last week, I'm sure you saw this too, Dana White said that he's not opposed to John Jones just retiring. That's basically what he said. He's like, well, he's obviously not in line for the title, and I don't know if he wants to drop down to 205. He certainly could go back there, but if not, I can see him just walking away. He's earned enough money. He's the greatest ever. He can do it. Which is just Dana White saying, fuck you, I'm not going to pay you what you're asking for this Ngannou fight. Yeah?
No, my dad fucking, he can't go because he's going on a trip hiking, so.
All right, so
What were you saying? Ngannou? Yeah, Ngannou is going to run that division for a while.
Yeah, but only because John Jones isn't going to get to fight him.
Yeah, but, it is what it is. He did just get, this is a real podcast now, he did just sign a new agent or spokesperson.
Who?
Someone to do with boxing, and Dana White's like really, really good friends with them.
Who?
Someone Richards.
No, I mean, who signed him?
John Jones.
Oh, John Jones got a new spokesperson. Okay.
Yeah, to like probably negotiate his contract, you know what I mean?
Well, it's no secret that John Jones has been asking of north of $15 million.
Yeah.
Like, that's the lowest figure we've seen. And we've seen prices as high as 30 or 50 million. I don't think it's 50 million. That would be outrageous for one fight.
Yeah.
But what we have been seeing is that Dana White said that he could fight Stipe. And John Jones says, I'm not interested in fighting Stipe. I want to fight for the title. He said, I wouldn't be opposed to fighting Stipe after I get a title shot because he's a great fighter, but I want to fight for the title right now. And Dana White said, oh, he doesn't want to fight Ngannou. He doesn't want to fight Stipe now. So he can just, he can do whatever he wants to do. And Dana White's now booking Ngannou versus Lewis 2 for the summer. Like, that's going to be the next fight. It's going to be Ngannou versus Lewis 2.
Dude, Derek Lewis. I'm tossing money on him.
Nah, I'm not. I got Ngannou all the way.
Yeah, but Ngannou's going to be like minus 300 knockout.
I don't know if he will because Lewis won the first fight.
Yeah, he definitely will. Derek Lewis knocked out Curtis Blades in one punch, man.
What do you think Francis Ngannou by submission is?
Plus a 1,200. I don't even know.
He's got a submission. He got an armbar.
Yeah?
Yeah. And it's like fourth fight in the UFC. But it sucks, man, because John Jones and Ngannou needs to happen, and Dana White just won't shell out the cash. That's all it is.
Yeah, I know.
If Dana White would pay him $20 million, this fight would already be booked.
John Jones tweeted this morning. All right.
It's not even Dana White's decision to even pay him the money either. That's what's fucked up. Dana White is the president. He's not the CEO of UFC anymore. So it's not even his decision. But Dana White is the head promoter. So he gets to do what he wants to do.
Yeah. Yeah, straight up. Nothing else to it. July 10th, Price versus Pereira, welterweight bout. And I'm pretty sure Price is the one who got a draw with Donald Cerrone.
Yeah, Nico Price. Yep.
Yeah. Got suspended for weed for 6 months, first fight back. So.
Oh, nice. Yair Rodriguez was the guy that got suspended for 6 months because he didn't answer USADA quick enough.
Maybe that's why it's scheduled. That's interesting. July 10th, same card as McGregor. So, yep.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Brought to you by Odyssey Group International. Thank you for sponsoring. And here is their commercial for their new drug, Prevacol.
Pharmaceutical company Prevacus says their new concussion medication Prevacol helps repair nerves and promote cell growth.
We can get the drug in the brain in less than 5 minutes. And our plan is when we get that diagnosis on the field of play, give the drug nasally, get it in the brain quickly. When it gets in the brain, it actually gets into the nucleus of your brain cells, and it reduces swelling, inflammation, and oxidative stress at the same time.
When Jake and I first talked about this many years ago, one of my first questions was, will this help me? And he goes, no, this is for treatment immediately when a concussion or you think a concussion has occurred.
Yeah.
The acute problems that exist later on in life, if we can take care of these at an early age and start getting some of these things to our children and grandchildren, and I think we can make our game, football, a safer place.
And so the whole goal is we're trying to make the game safer. And so Odyssey and this drug, we believe, can be a game changer in so many different ways. Yes, on the football field, in the game of football, because that's where my passion lies, but also in the game of life.
Talk about different divisions. We just talked about the heavyweight division, talked about the featherweight division. Max Holloway.
We do that every time. We do that. That's what we do every time, though.
Yeah, we do. But at the same time, we talk about it in a chronological sense. Yeah. Like we could talk about light heavyweight now, and then we could go to middleweight instead of talking about middleweight because that's what the main event is coming up. We could talk about Figueiredo Moreno because we haven't talked about that fight at all.
We have.
I am very interested to see when the heavyweight championship gets booked. And then, here's my next question to you, sticking with heavyweight division. Because if all the reports that we've seen are valid, the next fight that's going to get made is Ngannou versus Lewis 2.
Yeah.
If John Jones doesn't get booked, does Stipe automatically get the winner? What do you do with Stipe? What the fuck do you do with Stipe?
He probably gets a rematch. I don't know.
I think he should. I think he should get a rematch. It was the same thing. Well, no, Cormier actually beat him the first time, and then Miocic beat him the next two. But, like, the champ beat the challenger, and then the challenger beat the champ in the second fight.
Yeah.
So you would naturally assume that Stipe would get his rematch, but they're just talking about Derek Lewis now. I don't know. And I didn't think Stipe was definitely getting rocked, but I didn't think it was a terrible performance by him. I thought Ngannou was better, but it's not like he dominated Stipe. He caught him at the end and knocked him flat unconscious, but
Ngannou kind of got wobbled a little bit. That's why Derek Lewis, you know what I mean? Derek Lewis could, just catch him with one punch. It's the same thing with Ngannou. We've seen it happen time and time again. If it goes to the ground, this fight goes to
Ngannou Lewis.
Yeah,
dude, Ngannou's probably gonna win. Ngannou looked really impressive on the ground. Really impressive.
Might take him to the ground.
I don't. You think he would? That would be so crazy.
I mean, Curtis Blades.
So
Derek Lewis, he almost did.
So I have another name for you. So Cyril Gane fights Alexander Volkov June 26th.
Yeah.
Cyril Gane is 7-0, 8-0. It's 8-0. If he beats Volkov, he'll be 9-0 and he'll be top 3 in that division. Put Cyril Gane against Stipe. I'm with that.
What's that gain for Stipe though? Like then he still has to fight who next? Like because that's
right,
not even
I don't know.
a contender.
But what do you do with
That's like
Stipe?
Stipe's like a gatekeeper all of a sudden. The guy just ran the division for so long.
He did and he didn't win the division. Because Cormier beat him.
The weight up.
Yeah, Stipe was talking about coming in like 10 pounds heavier next time. I don't know if that was too big of an issue for him. I don't think that affected him too much in that fight. It's not like he was gassed or anything. He just got dropped. He just got absolutely rocked.
Yeah, he did get rocked, but it definitely will have an effect, but it's just the power of Ngannou, man.
Yeah, it is.
The fact that he couldn't take him down is kind of crazy.
It is. And Stipe was practicing that for months and months and months, stuffing the takedown.
Stipe doesn't want to freaking fight, stand with him.
But when you have a guy, if you have a 31-year-old with the hardest recorded punch ever, who's stuffing takedowns and flawlessly transitioning to backside mount, like beautifully, you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Because then all of a sudden, you're on all fours and a guy's just uppercutting you over and over.
If Ngannou goes in there and submits Derek Lewis,
I wouldn't be too surprised.
Will you have your opinion changed with John Jones versus him?
No.
You still think John Jones is going to beat him?
Absolutely.
Really?
I think he can beat him? I don't know. I thought you were going to set me up for, is John Jones a better wrestler? Which I would 100% say yes.
Yeah, well, that's obvious.
Right.
But, I mean, if Ngannou's getting good and he, is impressive really impressive.
I think that John Jones beats every single person in heavyweight and light heavyweight. That's what I think.
I don't know.
You know who I think is the best test for John Jones?
Cyril Gane.
Jan Blachowicz. No, I would say Stipe is. I would say Stipe is the best test for John Jones.
Stipe should face John Jones.
But neither of them want that fight because both of them have claims for the title. So why wouldn't you just wait for the title instead of possibly getting beaten by this other guy?
You get a claim for the title if you win.
You don't just get a claim. You get a fucking bullet on it. If Stipe and John Jones fights, the winner that gets the fight. How much does John Jones want to fight Stipe? If let's just say that he's asking for $20 million. to fight Ngannou? How much does he want to fight Stipe? Is that 10 mil? Is that 5 mil? Does Dana do it?
I don't even know. 5 mil.
Here's another thing. John Jones versus Stipe, that's a pay-per-view. That's not a fight night main event. That's a pay-per-view. So are you going to have a pay-per-view main evented by a non-title fight? Or are you going to do John Jones Stipe as the co-main event, but just have 5 rounds like Leon Edwards and
No,
Nate
they're the
Diaz?
main event. It don't
It has
matter.
to be the main event.
Yeah, no, it don't even matter. Like, if there's a title, like, that's the co-main. Like, it don't.
Yeah, well, you know what? They are doing it for McGregor Poirier, so it's not unheard of. But, like, man,
Dana White can do whatever the hell he wants, which is crazy.
he can. But I feel like sometimes Dana White is his own worst enemy. Give the fans what they want. Ngannou versus John Jones is what everybody wants.
Yeah, it's a business at the end of the day.
No,
though.
I know. But
So that's how he looks at it. He doesn't look at it as a fan. He looks at
say
it as-
John Jones gets paid 20 mil. And
No.
Ngannou, I know, but just say he does. And Ngannou gets paid. Ngannou would only get paid like 5 mil max, whatever John Jones gets paid. Ngannou's not even going to get 5 mil, but we'll say 5 mil max.
Yeah, well, they got
So say he shells out 25 mil for the main event. They're easily making 150 million at least.
You think so?
Yeah. The last pay-per-view grossed like 130. UFC 262.
Yeah, well, this one's gonna be the biggest one I think maybe ever.
Right. If it's John Jones
Probably
versus
200.
Ngannou and they put another title, say they put fucking like Kamaru Usman on the co-main event against Colby Covington, some shit like that. Like just a good main event. I don't give a fuck about the rest of the undercard. It doesn't matter. They'll throw Sean O'Malley for shits and giggles in there. You know what I mean? But if the main event is John Jones versus John Jones versus Francis Ngannou, that will be one of the highest grossing pay-per-views ever. So is it really that ludicrous to pay John Jones 20 mil?
John Jones is asking for like 12.
I think he's asking for more. I think if it was 12 mil, they'd pay him 12.
No,
I have a feeling he's asking for 20. That's what I think, man. That's what I think.
$20 million.
There was a report. Dana White said that he's asking for 30 million, and then everybody came out and said no, he's not.
Yeah.
Dana White says so much shit to back people into corners.
Mm.
And it's his job, and he's a damn good promoter at it. I'm not saying he's not.
Yeah, because it gets people interested in the fight even more.
But it also makes people, way more people think John Jones is a dick or a greedy bastard than they did before this all happened. And maybe it's true. But then again, how many more fights does this guy have in him? He hasn't fought in a year and a
Who the
half.
hell wants to step into the octagon with Francis Ngannou?
John Jones does.
He does, but for a very big price. You know, he's the only one.
Derek Lewis does. Stipe,
Derek Lewis? Yeah.
Stipe might. Stipe might.
No, everyone's scared. Dude. Like GSP said, like everyone's scared.
I don't
Especially
think John Jones is scared.
Oh, he's scared.
Would you, dude?
Oh, he's
There's
scared.
no way he's scared.
He's scared, right?
No way.
They're both scared. Dude, the first minute in that first round, nothing's gonna happen.
Francis and John Jones, yeah, absolutely.
Nothing's gonna happen. John Jones might throw a leg kick or two. John Jones throws leg kicks, dude. That's the one thing that he has that really stands out. He could.
No, he has so many things that stand out. I don't know
Oh
what you
no,
mean.
that's one of the major
Right.
things because if Francis Ngannou, what he did on the ground versus one of the best heavyweights on the ground, Stipe. It'll be interesting to see how John Jones can keep a 265-pound guy on the ground, 280-pound guy.
Well, John Jones is 240 now, 250.
He ain't 280. He wasn't working in the sand mines, bro. I can tell
He's
you
going to be heavier than Stipe was.
that. Yeah, but he's not going to be heavier than Ngannou.
No, he's not. But when you have the wrestling background that he has, you might not need it, dude.
280, Zach?
He could be 300. John Jones.
300 that now you're pushing it.
Yeah, that is pushing it. But like 290's not.
Yeah, that's
25 pounds. That's not terrible for a guy that weighs in at 265. And I think John Jones, the day of the fight, is like no more than 260. Like probably closer to 250. But John Jones at 260, man, that's an animal. That is an animal.
slow
no,
animal.
it's not a slow
He might
animal.
be slow.
He might be. Are you
Do you
gonna
think he's faster?
than Ngannou?
No, yeah.
than Ngannou.
Punching wise.
100%.
You think so?
Yes.
How do you know?
I don't know. I just think so. I know. I think so because Jones has been training at least twice as long as Ngannou in striking. In wrestling, it's probably more
Not
like
at that weight,
quadruple as
though.
long.
Not at that weight. This is what I'm getting at. That's a big
Well, technique isn't determined by weight class. Power can
reaction
be.
time. Slower movements.
I get that is a natural thing that could happen to someone who goes up a weight class.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. John Jones has taken a year and a half to go up. So those mechanics that would have needed
Probably
to be
not
fixed.
on his own will, though. If he's been asking for a fight for a while.
No, I think it was completely out of his own will. I think he said, I've beaten everybody.
Well, he's been asking for, like, what, 3 months now to fight this dude?
Yeah, but I think he said, I'm done with everybody in the light heavyweight. I'm going to go up to heavyweight. So I think that was totally his decision.
Yeah.
And I think he's been training his ass off at heavyweight. Because it's no more coke days for John Jones and partying and shit like that. That shit's over. It's all about fighting.
Not up when you're going. Not when you're going up against a guy like Ngannou. You better not be partying. You're gonna get your head knocked off.
Oh, man. We're gonna take another quick commercial break. We'll be right back with more talks on the UFC. Maybe more talks about the heavyweight division. Maybe anything else. We're letting it fly today. You're watching MMA Complete every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Check out UFC 263 live stream on June 12th from 8 p.m. to 1 p.m.
Pharmaceutical company Prevacus says their new concussion medication Prevacol helps repair nerves and promote cell growth.
We can get the drug in the brain in less than 5 minutes. And our plan is when we get that diagnosis on the field of play, give the drug nasally, get it in the brain quickly. When it gets in the brain, it actually gets into the nucleus of your brain cells, and it reduces swelling, inflammation, and oxidative stress at the same time.
When Jake and I first talked about this many years ago, one of my first questions was, will this help me? And he goes, no, this is for treatment immediately when a concussion or you think a concussion has occurred.
Yeah.
The acute problems that exist later on in life, if we can take care of these at an early age and start getting some of these things to our children and grandchildren, and I think we can make this game, our game, football, a safer place.
And so the whole goal is we're trying to make the game safer. And so Odyssey and this drug, we believe, can be a game changer in so many different ways. Yes, on the football field, in the game of football, because that's where my passion lies, but also in the game of life.
All right. Some breaking news. Not so breaking, but kind of breaking. The Corey Sandhagen versus Dillashaw fight has been rescheduled to July 24th. That's a huge fight because I think the winner of that gets the bantamweight title shot against Aljamain Sterling, which is a topic I'd love to talk about after we're done with these fights, because I actually have a very hot take on Aljamain Sterling.
Really?
I do. So, repeating that, Sandhagen versus Dillashaw is scheduled for July 24th, 5-round main event in Fight Night. Also, what is this, August 21st, Paulo Costa versus Jared Cannonier. Main event fight, 5-round fight. First time we've seen Paulo Costa since UFC 253.
It's been a while, man.
It has been a while. Paulo Costa 13-1, Jared Cannonier 13-5. Cannonier broke his arm against Whitaker, but had a great fight against Whitaker.
Yeah.
It's too early to tell, but I kind of...
He broke it.
Such a close fight. That's such a close fight.
The boxing bet is, I feel, Paulo Costa, with the MMA bet is Cannonier all around. I think Cannonier's.
Yeah, but
Not. It's like, I don't know. What's the numbers?
I have no idea. I think it's too early to tell. Sandhagen versus Dillashaw. I am leaning more towards Dillashaw, though. I was kind of leaning towards it when they were first scheduled to fight, and now I'm more towards it. Dillashaw got a cut on his eye, and that's why they were not They didn't fight on May 7th, I believe it was.
Hmm.
But Dillashaw has been back now, reinstated by the UFC for about 4 months, and I think he's been training a lot. And I think Corey Sandhagen's good. I'm not saying he's not, but I think Dillashaw is still up there with the best. That fight I'm really interested to see because I don't know how TJ's going to come back. If he does come back and win, I think he gets Aljo.
Is that rescheduled?
July 24th.
You taking that off or no?
No, probably not. But here's my hot take on Aljamain Sterling.
Okay.
Aljamain Sterling in UFC 258, 257.
Yeah.
I think it was UFC 257. Won the title because he won the fight by DQ over Petr Yan because Petr Yan kneed him in the face while Sterling was on the ground.
Even though he was winning the fight and going to win the fight in 10 more seconds.
Well, that's the thing. The judges' scorecards had the split decision for Aljamain Sterling at the time.
No, but he was about to TKO him.
Right. It's similar to John Jones getting DQ'd against Matt Hamill. Well, it's not totally the same, but it's similar.
Yeah.
Aljamain Sterling has not had any reports, rumors of a next fight upcoming.
No, he just had neck surgery.
But he hasn't had any talk about that. I know that Aljamain Sterling doesn't want to fight Petr Yan again.
Obviously.
I think Aljamain Sterling retires before he fights another fight. I think he's done. Because I think he's parading around with the title now, even though he didn't win it. He said he didn't want to win it that night. I don't think he was completely acting, but I think he was exaggerating that night about how fucked up he was, because I think he wanted to win by DQ. I think that Aljamain just says, I won the title. I was the best. I'm going to go out. Because he's still like 29. You know what I mean?
Bro,
and he probably got some fucking brain damage from that shit.
Bro. He's going to get money.
Yeah.
He's going to get paid.
He's going to get paid for the Yan rematch. But, like, say Sandhagen beats Dillashaw and they give Corey Sandhagen versus Aljamain Sterling a fight, which that would be the second fight because Sandhagen already beat Sterling.
Yeah.
That's not going to get that much money. And I don't think Aljamain Sterling or Petr Yan are that marketable, so they might not even be the main event of whatever pay-per-view they have to fight.
It would be a good pay-per-view for, like, a Conor, dude.
That would be a good co-main event. Absolutely.
Co-main. Yeah.
But I think Aljo just wants to celebrate on Twitter. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I think Aljamain Sterling retires. And then I think that we see someone like Corey Sandhagen or TJ Dillashaw fight Petr Yan. And then I don't know what you do with Rob Font. Because Rob Font just had a dominant victory over Cody Garbrandt.
Yeah, no, he did. He did.
So I don't know what you do. Petr Yan is right in that Stipe conversation of I don't know what to do with him. Because he should get a title fight, and I don't think he wants to fight anyone for a number one contender fight.
Jan wants to fight, I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, I'm sure he does, but he wants to fight for the title.
Oh, no, and he absolutely should, no? Or should he be punished? Should he have to work his way back
up? I think he's been punished. I think he got punished, and I think he paid his dues. He lost his title, he got fined, and that's it.
Got suspended.
That's it.
Yeah.
And he walks away. Maybe they can do like an interim fight because Aljo, you said he just got surgery on his neck or something. So he's going to be out for a while. So they can do an interim fight. Have Rob Font fight Petr Yan. I'd be fine with that.
They're in the same division?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Rob Font, have they fought before? Rob Font versus Petr Yan?
I don't believe so. I believe Petr Yan has actually not had that much experience against top 10 fighters in the bantamweight division.
I like Rob Font in that.
Because he beat Uriah Faber, he beat Jose Aldo, and then he fought Aljamain Sterling.
That's it? And he was the champ?
He beat a couple nobodies. He beat John Dodson, Jimmy Rivera, Uriah Faber, and Jose Aldo. And then he lost his first title defense, lost to Aljamain Sterling.
I like Rob Font.
Rob Font have you seen the numbers on that fight? I think you watched the fight, right?
I did at Ben's, yeah.
That fight, he completely dominated. 176 to 63 strikes for Rob Font.
Yeah.
Rob Font also has beaten Sergio Pettis, Marlon Moraes, Thomas Almeida, but he beat Matt Schnell, by the way. But he lost to Rafael Sunsao and Pedro Munoz, who are arguably the two best names on that list besides Cody Garbrandt. So I would like to see what ideally would happen for me is Aljo versus Jan again, and then the winner of Sandhagen Dillashaw fights Rob Font. That's what I think should happen. I don't think it will happen though.
Yeah.
Because I think Aljamain Sterling will do whatever he has to do to not fight Petr Yan again. Because he knows he's going to lose. He knows he's going to lose.
Yeah. Would you bet the deed on Jan?
Would I bet the deed on Jan? Yes. I think I would. Let's look at that fights and the statistics in that a little more closely. Aljamain Sterling had more strikes landed. Aljamain Sterling was 42% strikes, and he had 11 more strikes landed than Petr Yan. But Petr Yan had 62% strike accuracy. Petr Yan was 7 for 7 on takedowns. Aljamain Sterling was 1 for 17 on takedowns.
Wow.
That's right. Petr Yan just stuffed everything. Petr Yan also had 4 minutes of control time to Aljamain Sterling's 3.5. So in every sense, Petr Yan beat Aljamain, except Aljamain Sterling had 11 more strikes landed and 100 more strikes thrown.
Yeah.
So Sterling had more output. That's what it was on standing. But Jan dominated every other aspect.
Yeah.
I think I would bet on Jan. Oh, that was 259 with Blachowicz and Adesanya. That's right.
Yeah. Oh, I streamed it. Check it out.
Yeah. Yeah, go check out on the MMA Complete YouTube page.
Check out the live reactions.
Also,
check
go
out
follow us on Twitter at complete_MMA.
Yeah. Check out the live reaction of Chris Weidman breaking his leg.
Oh, yeah. That's actually on the Naked Sports Instagram page. Go check that out. That was a great clip that we had. We're going to take another quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Pharmaceutical company Prevacus says their new concussion medication Prevacol helps repair nerves and promote cell growth.
We can get the drug in the brain in less than 5 minutes. And our plan is when we get that diagnosis on the field of play, give the drug nasally, get it in the brain quickly. When it gets in the brain, it actually gets into the nucleus of your brain cells, and it reduces swelling, inflammation, and oxidative stress at the same time.
When Jake and I first talked about this many years ago, one of my first questions was, will this help me? And he goes, no, this is for treatment immediately when a concussion or you think a concussion has occurred.
Yeah.
The acute problems that exist later on in life, if we can take care of these at an early age and start getting some of these things to our children and grandchildren, and I think we can make this game, our game, football, a safer place.
And so the whole goal is we're trying to make the game safer. And so Odyssey and this drug, we believe, can be a game changer in so many different ways. Yes, on the football field, in the game of football, because that's where my passion lies, but also in the game of life.
UFC 264 has a nice little lineup on it, as we would expect from a Conor McGregor pay-per-view.
Yeah, it's so fucking.
Gilbert Burns versus Stephen Thompson. Tai Tuivasa versus Greg Hardy. Nico Price versus Michael Pereira. Sean Brady versus Kevin Lee. That's pretty good. That is actually really interesting. Definitely a good pod bet for that one.
Yeah. We'll see.
We'll see. So you have McGregor, huh?
I don't know yet. We'll see what the number says.
Well, right now McGregor's the slight favorite.
I don't know why.
Because McGregor.
Yeah.
Because everybody loves to bet on McGregor.
Yeah.
McGregor was the favorite against Khabib. I wish we were betting back then.
Yeah, I know, right? Shit.
I think he was the favorite. I'm not entirely sure. I would assume so.
Yeah. Probably. I don't know. Probably Khabib was, man. Khabib's just a different animal. That's why he doesn't fight.
I'm wrong. Khabib was the favorite. He wasn't that big of a favorite, though.
He just talks so much shit. I think that division's crazy, man. How long is Charles Oliveira gonna freaking? Do you think he's a champion for a while? I don't
know because there's so many killers, and we just saw that he almost got finished. I know he came back strong, and that was great, but he did almost get finished.
Justin Gaethje could beat him, man.
Gaethje, Poirier, Chandler could do it in a rematch.
Again, he almost did.
Right.
And then dude, what a 180.
Dude, and you know what?
Crazy.
I don't want to see this fight because he just turned in one of the most boring fights ever, but Beneil Dariush is an interesting matchup for him because he can just control you on the ground, and Oliveira, that may be what you need to do.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope MMA is not taking that turn to just holding people on the ground. And
well, we see that from some fighters. And I compared Beneil Dariush to Tyron Woodley, which I still think is a very good comparison because that's what Tyron Woodley did. He would just get
14 minutes of control time and only throw 40 strikes in the whole fight. And he would win because he controlled them for the whole time.
Yeah.
It's a boring way to fight, but in the rule book, when you get down to game plan, it's smart. It's what it is.
Yeah.
And I mean, Dariush, we talk about how he had a boring fight. He almost tapped Tony. Anybody else would have tapped.
Anybody. Yeah, it's a good fight. I like Dariush. I liked him before you said Tony.
I would like to see Dariush fight. I could see Dariush fighting Gaethje. Dariush is like 3.
Top 5?
I'm pretty sure it's Poirier, Gaethje, Dariush, Chandler, McGregor.
Yeah.
Or it might be Hooker over McGregor. Hooker might be over McGregor. Even though McGregor's still in the top 15 of the pound for pound. But Gaethje's not. Or Dariush isn't.
Yeah.
He's like 5th or 6th on the lightweight rankings.
Gaethje.
But he's ahead of 3 lightweights in the pound for pound.
So it's to prove to show you that shit don't matter.
No, it doesn't. You know what number 1 pound for pound is right now?
Is it Ngannou?
Who's the only?
Is it John Jones?
No.
Ngannou?
No.
Adesanya?
No.
Damn. I don't know.
Think about since we've been watching UFC, since this podcast started, a little under a year ago, there's been one champion that has not lost his title. I'm pretty sure he is the only champion that has held it for like over a year. Adesanya's actually won, but he lost the fight. So
is it Blachowicz?
No, it's not Blachowicz. No.
I'm having a tough time. Not Figueiredo.
No.
Well, he's had the title since we've...
Well, he only won it in November because it was vacant forever.
Yeah. Why? Because of Cejudo?
Yeah.
Yeah. You watch his fight versus Dillashaw?
Yeah, he creamed Dillashaw. Dillashaw gets up afterwards. He's like, why'd you stop it? The ref's like, calm down. Like, no.
Yeah.
Really can't think of it? This is staring you right in the face.
I know. Is it,
Who?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usman.
Kamaru Usman's number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Volkanovski, which I don't agree with. Because someone who only won by split decision in a fucking controversial split decision.
Okay. Yeah.
This is Naked Sports. We can swear. Uncovered, uncensored. But I don't agree with Volkanovski.
I know you fucking meant it.
Fuck.
Hey.
You got Usman at 1, Volkanovski
PG-13.
Oh, John Jones is number 1?
I thought he was.
All right. John Jones is number 1. Not mad at that. Usman number 2, Volkanovski 3. Adesanya 4, and Blachowicz at 7.
More defenses.
Yeah, but like we just different. It's fine.
Yeah.
Ngannou 5, Poirier 6, Stipe 8, Max Holloway 9. Volkanovski's 3 and Holloway's 9. I get a problem with that.
Oliveira's what?
Oliveira's 11. Robert Whittaker's 12. Piotr Jan is 13th and Aljamain Sterling is 15th.
Where's McGregor?
McGregor got dropped off. McGregor's off, finally. About time.
And Poirier's not on there.
Yeah,
I'm
Poirier
pretty sure
is 6.
was.
Poirier's 6.
Ooh. Now what?
What do you mean?
Put the heat on Poirier.
Guy, I've been saying this for the whole time. I've been saying this the whole time. Poirier's going to win.
Are you putting the deed on him, though? I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Why? Why not?
Because McGregor could knock him out. He could. I don't think he will, though. Robert Whittaker is 12th. I like that a lot. Marvin Vettori skipped over him, and I thought that it was so bad. Such a bad call. Holloway is 9, and Volkanovski's 3. I got a problem with that. Holloway should be top 5. I would put Holloway above Poirier.
I want to see Holloway fight soon, man.
He's going to fight soon. He's going to fight in 20 days.
Yeah. 20 days, huh? Who?
Holloway, Yair Rodriguez.
Ooh.
Oh, no, that's actually July. That's July 17th, so it's like 50 days.
I'm betting the deed on it.
Yeah, well, we saw the numbers that Holloway had, so you're going to have to bet the deed.
Bet the deed on him.
Check out Bet the Deed podcast every Thursday night at 7.
Yeah. Bet the deed on him.
Let's see what else we got for fucked up rankings over here. Rob Font is now number 3, below Corey Sandhagen.
Wow.
Cody Garbrandt went down to 5. Jose Aldo's 4. Jorge Masvidal 7th for welterweight rankings. He dropped.
Yeah, well, that was his first fight in a while.
Beneil Dariush is 3, Chandler 4, McGregor 5, Tony 6. Islam Makhachev is 9. Islam Makhachev has not gotten a fight because no one wants to fight him. Dana White came and said that. Dana White said he tried to match him with 5 top 10 people, and they all didn't want to fight him. Islam Makhachev
is the future of that division.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, no one wants to fight him. Huh? Tony will.
Who did I say? Oh, Darren Till versus Derek Brunson is going to be coming up soon. I forget what the date on that is.
Oof. Derek Brunson looked good. He looked sharp versus Kevin Holland.
Yeah, but that's Kevin Holland. I don't know.
He looked sharp, dude.
August 14th is Till versus Brunson. My sister's birthday. Jerry Prochazka is number 2 in the light heavyweight division. And Glover Teixeira is lucky he booked the fight against Blachowicz when he did, because if Prochazka would have gotten that win over Reyes before, I think Prochazka would have leapfrogged Teixeira, and I wouldn't have been mad at it either.
You like Teixeira, huh?
Yeah, I do like Teixeira. I think Teixeira can beat Blachowicz.
You know his number's going to be high, too.
Yeah, it is. I think Teixeira is such a great wrestler in jiu-jitsu that I would also put money on Teixeira by submission. That's what I think. I would love to bet that. We're getting to the end of the pod.
Yeah.
Kind of flew by. So there isn't a fight night this week, but next weekend is Rosenstrike versus Sakai.
Yeah.
And Marcin Tibera versus Walt Harris.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be interesting. We'll talk about that next week. And then after that, we have UFC 263, which is what we're really going to be talking about. Adesanya for Vettori 2. Figueiredo versus Moreno 2. Leanne Edwards versus Nate Diaz. And Bilal Muhammad versus Damian Maia. So that's a pretty good card. I'm pretty excited for that.
It's a late card. We will be up.
We always will be live streaming those. Up late till 1 a.m. UFC 263. MMA Complete, best podcast for live reactions. Come check us out on that date.
Mm-hmm.
But that's about it. So for Mark and Dylan in the chat, thank you boys for tuning in. Sorry you couldn't be here, but you'll be here next week for sure.
For show. What's that from?
For show. Getting that for show.
For show. Super bad.
Super bad, yeah. All right, that's going to do it for us. You're watching MMA Complete every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Go check out Bet the Deed every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Both our YouTube channels. Go check that out. Go follow us at complete_MMA for MMA Complete Twitter. We post all breaking news for UFC and just some funny shit. We do polls and stuff, so go check that out. Come check us out, like I said, June 12th and July 10th. For the next 2 pay-per-views, we're going to go live 8 p.m. to 1 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And go follow Naked Sports on YouTube. That's Naked Sports, one word. You're not going to want to look up any other version of that. Or maybe you do. Or maybe you do.
Maybe you do.
Go follow Fans Only Sports as well. And
not only fans.
As far as Naked Sports is concerned, let me just throw up this little logo real quick. Naked Sports will be hosting. That's not gonna work, is it?
Damn. Bummer,
What's up
man.
with the overlays? The overlays aren't popping up today. Naked Sports will be hosting. Oh, that's not it.
That's MMA Complete. That's us.
Every Thursday night. Go check that out.
Hello. Are we here? What's going on?
This guy, hello. Naked Sports, July 10th, will be hosting Yard Olympics. All day field day of kickball, horseshoes, cornhole, and other things like mini home run derbies and dunk tanks and stuff like that.
I will be co-hosting.
Absolutely. We're going to have we're all going to be there so you can come meet your favorite podcast host. That's right. Yeah. So come check that out or go to nakedsports.com for more information.
I'm just a puppet.
That's it. We're going to be out of here. We'll be back next weekend. Thank everybody for tuning in. And we will see you next Thursday, 7 and 8 p.m. for both shows. Yeah. And June 12th for UFC 263 live reactions. We're out of here. Thank you.
Wait a mark.
One more time, shouting out Odyssey Group International, and we're out of here.
Pharmaceutical company Prevacus says their new concussion medication Prevacol helps repair nerves and promote cell growth.
We can get the drug in the brain in less than 5 minutes. And our plan is when we get that diagnosis on the field of play, give the drug nasally, get it in the brain quickly. When it gets in the brain, it actually gets into the nucleus of your brain cells, and it reduces swelling, inflammation, and oxidative stress at the same time.
When Jake and I first talked about this many years ago, one of my first questions was, will this help me? And he goes, no, this is for treatment immediately when a concussion or you think a concussion has occurred.
Yeah.
The acute problems that exist later on in life, if we can take care of these at an early age and start getting some of these things to our children and grandchildren, and I think we can make this game, our game, football, a safer place.
And so the whole goal is we're trying to make the game safer. And so Odyssey and this drug, we believe, can be a game changer in so many different ways. Yes, on the football field, in the game of football, because that's where my passion lies, but also in the game of life.